Hey! Is there anybody who wants to know about ACL surgery? Come here. Last week it was 1 year since I had my ACL injury, and I just wanted to put into the perspective what happened for me during last year when I was dealing with that issue. Maybe you are looking for information, you have the same issue at the moment, hopefully not, but you want to see how the surgery looks like, how the recovery feels like, etc, etc. So I'm making this video just, summarize my experience. November 2021. I'm in Egypt, having a time of my life, kite surfing there, good weather, good company. What could go wrong? In the last days of the trip, I went to the Blue Lagoon. It's kind of remote area near the hub, where the just lagoon and the Bedouin village. So it's a famous kite surfing spot. At that moment, I was learning kite loops. So for those who doesn't know kite surfing, it's a kind of advanced and extreme move. When you jump into the air, you rotate a kite generates a lot of power, it pulls you forward, and then you're landing like a swing, you're touching the water and you're sailing away. Surprise, surprise, I got my accident on record. So as you can see in this video, I'm high in the air at the highest point of my jump, rotating the kite, and at that moment I spotted person on the left side entering the zone where I'm gonna land in a couple of seconds. I panicked, and of course the first idea was to land as quick as possible and stop as quick as possible. Trying to do that, I forced all the energy on my back leg. There was a lot of pressure in the landing time, and something cracked in my knee. Pain wasn't very bad. I even managed to finish my kite surfing session, get out of the water, but in the evening inflammation came to the knee. It got bigger because of some liquids, and I had to come back to the civilization. So next day I visited local hospital in the hub. Doctor checked my knee, did x-ray, and said there's like no broken bones. So in the end he just gave me the inflammation pills. I came back to Lithuania and the inflammation went off and my knee actually looked pretty normal. At that time I even went to the Slovakia and went to the mountains because I was having the climbing course at that moment, and I even summited one of the peaks. But during that trip I spotted that my knee is very unstable. Every step my knee was moving. At that point I ordered an MRT, or how it's called in English, I'm not quite sure. The picture showed your ACL is completely broken. I decided to have a surgery in a local semi-private surgery clinic. It cost me 800 euros, and January 25th, 2022 was my surgery date. So I arrived at the clinic, they took me to the surgery room. It took maybe 2 hours, I'm not quite sure, because I was drugged. I was just wandering around. The interesting moment was then they were drilling the bone, I guess. Of course, it doesn't feel anything, but you hear the noise and you feel the vibration. And I was thinking like, oh my God, how good the medicine is. Like they're drilling my bone and I'm just like laying down here like nothing happening. And the operation went well. I stayed in the hospital for one night just for observation. The night wasn't very easy, but it wasn't very bad though. In the night when the pain went stronger, the lady came, she gave me some more medication and I went to sleep without any pain. And in the morning pain was gone. So 7 in the morning the doctor came, he checked my leg and said, "You're free to go." So first days after the surgery were way more better than I expected. I was hoping to be in the bed for a whole week in pain, drinking pills, etc. But that was opposite. Basically there was no pain at all. I was chilling on the sofa, cooling my knee down with ice cubes, and life was good. The first thing I started to do from the day one was trying to keep my leg muscles engaged. I knew that there's gonna be no physical activity for at least 3 weeks, so I started to kinda exercise while keeping my leg up in the air, just simply straight leg up in the air like this. So that was my primal initiation of future rehab steps. Alrighty, so splint from the hospital. I was wearing it maybe for only 3 days. After that, I replaced it with the product from Incrediwear. It's kind of splint/sock. It was recommended for me by my therapist. What it does two things. Of course, it gives you stability, and the second thing, it stimulates the bloodstream around your injured place. That's why that place is healing way more faster than it should be normally. So description says this product is like scientifically proven, and a lot of athletes are using it on a regular basis. I'm not an expert on that, but what I can say, I really enjoyed this product in my arsenal, and it helped me a lot, at least in the head, you know, having it on my knee. So maybe it will help you too. Incredible. Everything was going very well. The only thing I could do differently was not to push on walking. Basically, when I felt better, I started to walk a lot, started to climb stairs, etc. You know, pushing a little bit. I thought it's gonna be a good thing for me, but it turned out to be not a good thing. More liquid stayed in the knee, so I had to pay some extra visits to my surgeon to take it out. So if you're in this kind of situation, don't hurry up with walking. Stay calm and your time will come. After spending 30 days healing up, I was able to start my rehab process, which took around 3 weeks. Basically, I was going to the same clinic. They have rehab center. I was working with physiotherapists, exercising, working on my balance, coordination, regaining some strength in the muscles, massaging it, basically doing all kind of rehabilitation stuff. So I also had some procedures there, some electromagnetic stuff, some electric impulses to the muscles, etc, etc, etc. And my favorite thing was going to the swimming pool. It was the moment I really felt a big progress on my leg, so I really enjoyed exercising in the warm water. Basically what I did after, I bought the membership in the local swimming pool and went there on my own to do the same exercises. This primal rehab took around 3 weeks. I was really enjoying it. I had a huge motivation to do that. The crew there was amazing. They welcomed me with a nice approach. They were paying attention to my progress, etc. So only good words to them and thanks. Of course, after 3 weeks I was done and I was ready to make a next step. I went to see physiotherapist Thomas. He checked my knee, did some testing. Apparently the knee was in a really good condition, so he prepared exercise plan for next 2 months. Basically there was safe generic exercises, and I went to the local gym to do it like 3 days a week. 2 months went by, I met Thomas again. He did some checking, the knee was all right. He prepared another exercise plan for me, and also he gave me a permission to start jogging and do surfing. So what I did, I immediately went for a forest run. It was 4 months after the surgery, and the experience was really nice. Feeling was really good. It was kind of a reassurance that I'm on the right way, progressing, doing my rehab, etc. So I really enjoyed that time having my first run in the forest. I was grinding that second program for around 3 months during the summertime, and in the middle of summertime I went for my first kite surfing session. It was a very careful one in a light wind. I went with the foil and the main rule was no fixed feet, basically trying to avoid any kind of unexpected pulse on the knee. So I started to kite foiling a little bit and it felt really good. Yeah, so closer to the fall season, I started to do more and more kite surfing. I went to see my physiotherapist for the third time. He made me last of the 3 exercise plans, which I did for 2 months again. And during that time, I was kite surfing a lot. I came back on a twin tip kind of board with the bindings. I started to do jumps and feel more and more comfortable with my leg. But I have one more thing to do, and yes, it was the same move I got injury on, so I had to repeat a kite loop, which will be mark of my successful finished rehab, and I did it. I don't know the exact date, but it was around 9 months after the surgery. Yeah, that was my finish line. Of course, that progress never ends. I still have to do exercises to avoid these kind of situations in the future. That's what I'm gonna do for sure, and all this situation was a really good lesson. So that was my experience about ACL surgery and recovery. If you're having the same issue, definitely go to the medical doctor, specialist, expert, talk about that. But if you're wondering about this operation, if you are a little bit afraid, don't be. It's not that bad. It's not that painful. You will have to put some effort in your rehab process and you will be very fine in the near future. That's it for this time. I hope we will never see each other again in another rehab video, and with that being said, the end.